My name is Julian Trumper. I represent a group of local residents called BigStand, and we are trying to put a stop to the proposed new town of 4,000 houses at Adversane. The idea of today was to try to show the fantastic countryside that is potentially going to be destroyed by this new development. And what we've walked through, I think, is a really very lovely example of the low-wheeled countryside supporting huge amounts of wildlife and birds and flora and fauna. We've been walking with Tony Whitbread of the Sussex Wildlife Trust, who's incredibly knowledgeable, and he's been pointing out to us, all the different trees, but also the different wildlife and the mammals that live in this area.
We're in the low weald of Sussex at the moment, so we're next door to the South Downs National Park in one direction and the high weald area of outstanding beauty in the other direction. In my view, this is a really high quality landscape which kind of gets forgotten because it's jammed between those two other designations. If we transported this somewhere else in the country, I bet this would be designated as well. This would be protected if it was somewhere else. So it really is a very intricate and interesting sort of landscape. Walking around here, I haven't done a proper survey or anything, but you can tell that it's just crisscross with shores and woodlands and small hedgerows. And we just walked past a wild service tree, which is a classic indicator of ancient woodland. We've seen large old coppice stalls of maple on the old boundaries. We've seen a hedgerow, which is very windy, which indicates that it could be very, very old indeed. It may actually mark the edge of a previously existing ancient forest. So there are layers in this landscape that we don't even realise.
We've been very lucky having Andrew Griffith here today because he's a very keen supporter of our campaign to stop this proposal to build houses. And so having him here, having him support us, support the local residents, support BigStand, is a fantastic thing.
It's really important when we're talking about things like the global climate emergency, when 40% of our native English species are under some sort of threat or actively endangered, that we protect whatever green field we've got left. I'd like to see, of course we need development, we need homes for the next generation, and I support that, as does the government. But we need to fully exploit brownfield sites, of which we have many in West Sussex. Are slightly harder to develop, but we should rise to the opportunity to develop them. And also make sure that when we do have any sort of development, that we put it in places that we're building sustainable communities. And often what that means is you don't have to jump in your car to access facilities like train stations, schools, healthcare facilities and shops. So I'm looking at today's site with local residents to see how it looks on that criteria. And it's part of an ongoing support that I'm giving for residents of West Sussex against greenfield development wherever possible. I'm worried about any loss of the ancient biome. We don't have a lot of that, and however much we try, and good developers do, and there is some good track record on that, but however much we try and recreate biodiversity, it's very difficult once you've actually scraped off, disturbed the topsoil, cut down ancient woodlands. So I'm going to look at it from that perspective. Understand a little bit more about the local wildlife, and make sure that these are things that are properly taken account of. As I say, I think we need development, but we shouldn't just knee-jerk into the development that's the easiest, but perhaps causes some of the more significant ecological harm.
Well, if it becomes a development, it will actually erode a lot of the interest that's here. Even if the best bits are preserved, which is what the developers often aim to do, it won't work as a landscape in as much as it has done in the past. So the wildlife that does go through here at the moment, we know about that, will be severely restricted. Populations of rare species will be threatened.
This is a really critical time to impress on the councillors that this is the wrong place to put 4,000 new houses. It's critical that whoever is interested in trying to protect this bit of land writes to their MP and to the local councillors and says, look, this is the wrong place to put 4,000 houses.